crazy people. They run from fire to fire. And when they run out of the fire, they carry their scrolls with them. What is it about the Torah? Wherever we run, we carry the Torah with us. It's almost like a human. I've had many experiences. Personally, I had to one day bring a Torah from New York to Miami, a Torah that was complete, and I had to carry it with me. And so I didn't realize, I didn't want to put it on top in the baggage area, so I wanted to hold it. And so the stewardess said, "You can't hold it with you." So I said, "Well, let me get a seat for it." He says, "This is a full flight. There's no seat for the Torah." So I said, "I'm not going to put this Torah up, just in the baggage, lay it down with a bunch of other stuff, and somebody's going to stick their hat on top of it, or their suitcase on top of it, or whatever." He said, "I'm not doing it." He says, "Well, sir, this is not a transportation system for your religious programs." He says, "You want to go, you can go. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go, but you cannot sit there holding this big thing." On another occasion, I brought another Torah with me. They thought I was carrying a baby. It was wrapped in a talus, and I was carrying this little Torah. And they said, "Excuse me?" He said, "How old is that infant?" I said, 3,500 years. Anyways, but in this case, I was holding the Torah. I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "Well, let's talk to the captain." Captain comes out and says, "Hello?" I said, "I happen to be a rabbi in South Florida. I'm bringing this Torah back from New York to Miami for our synagogue. It has emotional value. It came from the Holocaust and so forth." He says, "What's it?" I said, "This is the original Testament. What you guys call the Old Testament, this is what this is. This is the Testament. The origin of the Bible, written by hand for 3,500 years. I said, "And we can't, it's made on parchment." And I explained to him for a few minutes. He says, "Rabbi," he says, "I got a jump seat up front in the cockpit." I said, "Well, strap it right in there." I brought the Torah into the cockpit. And there was the captain and the co-pilot, and the co-pilot, and right behind them was this jump seat. And we strapped the Torah and it stood like a person flying in the cockpit. No passenger is given that benefit to fly in a cockpit. When the plane landed and I went to collect the Torah, the captain said to me, he said, "Sir," he says, "it felt real good flying tonight."